fighter pay? I didn't even realize.
Bro, this is the most important thing that I think we need, me and you.
Yeah.
We need to drive it down everyone's throats, mainly Dana White and mainly the promoters, because it is the most unfair thing. And I've been talking about it for quite some time now, even since before the Ben Askren fight. And I just don't understand it. And I see how much work these fighters have to put in and how hard this sport is and how unforgiving it is. You are only as good as your last fight. And Dana White's like, if you lose, sorry, buddy. Like, you're still signed to all these fights, and I can pay you $15,000.
Yeah.
And
it's like working for clout.
It's hard. And it's hard, too, because, like, if you don't have that commercial personality, I'll call it, like a McGregor, and you're just a beast-ass fighter, you didn't lose, but it's much harder for you. Kamaru Usman's a good example. One of the best. Doesn't really have a super commercial personality, right? Like, one of the best fighters.
Commercial or developed?
Commercial. Like,
like
he doesn't sell as many pay-per-views as he should because people aren't super invested in him. And it's no fault of his. It's just not who he is. He's a killer. He's a fucking killer, bro. Not like a Disney star. Like, we were trained for the other shit first.
That's what I was gonna say. You have media presence. You know how to sit and talk to a camera and, you know, look at this camera, tell the story to this person with this inflection in order to sell the fight.
It's cheating. It's our gift, right?
Yeah.
But and my one rebuttal, because I agree, the fighters are the talent. The fighters bring the audience. The power's with the fighter, and some are catching
risking their lives.
100%. Some are catching on. My one rebuttal would be this, and this is me playing devil's avocados. Selling pay-per-views is hard, bro. And I bet most fighters think they're much more valuable than they actually are. When it comes to actually driving pay-per-view sales, a lot of them probably aren't where they think they really are.
100%, and I see that all the time. I mean, we know it firsthand. People think they can go into the ring. These TikTokers and stuff think they're going into the ring this coming weekend or whatever, and they think they're gonna sell X amount of pay-per-views. No. You're not gonna do that. And I think a lot of fighters do overprice themselves. I just think there are certain ones who can sell the pay-per-views
1000%.
that aren't getting the pay-per-view cut and the numbers that they deserve. Like, how are me and you sitting here? I'm 3 pro fights in. You're 2 pro fights in. How do you and I make more than every single fighter in the UFC?
I think Francis Ngannou tweeted this, right? Or someone did. It might have been him. It's fucking stupid, dude. It's fucking dumb. But the answer is because people are invested, whether they like it or not. They want to see me try to do the impossible, right? Or come close or whatever the fuck. They want to see you get your ass kicked. Whatever it is, they're invested. They care emotionally, positive or negative.
But also because we are at the table during the business meetings.
True.
Dana White doesn't have his fighters at the table. He's like, here's how much you're getting. Take it or leave it, because he has that power. He's got them signed to that contract.
Well, that's his savvy. That's the magic of the Dana White.
But here's the thing, and this is where it needs to even out, because it just needs to be more fair. But out of all the sports, UFC fighters compared to how much the owners of the league get paid is the lowest.
Wow.
By I think it's around 20% is how much the fighters get. Whereas in other sports, it's like 45%. Wow. So the NBA players are making 45% of what the total organization makes. So that means that
increase the pot, even a bit, yeah,
even a bit, and give the ones who are selling the pay-per-views, reward them.
Yeah, stack them up.
Reward them and let them live a good life and retire, because John Jones, Francis, is one of the most exciting heavyweight fighters now. Like, bro, people are going to fucking watch that guy. Like, he needs to be a multi tens of millionaire.
Yeah.
And the guys who are running the organization, like the Usmans now, like the John Joneses, give these guys what they deserve.
Yeah, pay them.
And it'll trickle down from there. The more the UFC grows, the more the fighters grow. The more the fighter, as he's stepping up in the ranks, then he should be getting paid. But even You know, you look at like Chris Weidman who goes in and snaps his leg. Like, what happens in that scenario? Because in the NBA, they're guaranteed a certain amount of money.
Yeah,
they still get paid.
Fuck?
In the UFC, they're not. There's no guarantee you have to go in there and fight to get paid.
Oh my god.
And you take all the risk.
It's ruthless, dude. It's ruthless.
And by the way, bro, we're the only ones, honestly, that can really talk about this because
they're
UFC
locked
fighters,
up. They're locked up, bro. Oh, they can't even
imagine a UFC fighter coming out really in
clipping this podcast, like being like,
yeah.
You're
Dana
fired.
White's gonna be like, "Fuck you, you're
Did you
fired."
see Tony Ferguson before his last fight saying they should increase the knockout bonus? Or
I did see that.
Whatever the bonus was, it went from 50 to 75K. But even then, it's like.
But those are all the little things that need to be changed and pushed forward. Maybe it's not the salary. Maybe if you have a good performance, if you increase it, reward these guys for doing good. And on another note, like going into the boxing lane, it's like same thing with these promoters. Like, what does a promoter do nowadays? Like fighters, yeah, they put on the event, they have the license. You know, and there's promoters like Eddie Hearn who do a good job of selling the fight and has his own platform. Yeah. But what other promoters, like, can an average person name? Like, Mom, name another promoter besides Eddie Hearn.
Triller.
No, that they're not promoters. That's like it's a tech company. So there's no, your average person can't name name another promoter. And now it's up to the fighters, in my opinion, to learn content, to learn media presence, and to learn how to sell their own fights.
We've been doing that shit our whole life. It is so hard.
Okay, well,
Ryan's gotten close.
Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, because he's doing it.
Yeah, and he's young and he's savvy. And he grew up in the social media era. But bro, if we took 4 or 5 years to learn how to box, these fighters
That's true. That's totally
take
true.
4 or 5 years to develop a social media team, hire a videographer.
Yo, ironically,
hire an editor.
Ironically, Ben Askren did a good job of this in your fight with him.
He did great. He like
made that Rocky video, hundreds of thousands of favors. We said it. We're like, bro, this dude's like, he's milking this shit.
I think the difference is you guys have your built-in media empires already. How many
but Ben didn't, is what I'm saying, and it's possible.
And he stepped up to the plate, and it's possible, and at least try. I saw
given the opportunity of a big fight.
I saw Jamal Charlo created a YouTube channel and is like posting vlogs on there. I'm like, bro, this is sick because I liked him as a fighter, but I never got to see his personality. So I watch his videos. I'm like, oh, this guy is even cooler than I thought he was. Now I care even more about his fights.